Hello everyone, this is Adnan with another video on AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate 2020 certification. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to work with AWS CLI. Now, AWS CLI stands for Command Line Interface. So everything that we can do from the management console, we can do it from the CLI as well. And the AWS Command Line interface is a unified tool to manage your AWS services. With just one tool, you can download, configure, and you can control multiple AWS services from the command line and automate them from the script. And AWS CLI is basically a very powerful tool, and it's really easy to basically manage all the services. Everything that we can do from the management console, we can do it from AWS. So there are a few steps that you need to do. You can access, so we are going to access CLI, AWS CLI from our command prompt on our machine or any machine, but first we need to download this from this link. So I'm going to copy this link here, and then we are gonna so first of all we're going to download. So let's see what we need to do first. First we are going to create a user. So I'm just going to bring up the whiteboard here. Let's first understand the strategy. We are going to create a user, and that user will have, we know that whenever we create a user in AWS, AWS user comes with two types of permissions: programmatic access, or the console access. So in this case, since we need only CLI, we can go with the programmatic access. We don't need a console access for this. And at the same time, once we create this user and get the programmatic access, we are going to need the access key and the secret key. So when we create this user, we are going to download the access key and secret key. Okay, and so from our client side, for the client side here on our client, from where we are going to run the CLI, on this we are going to basically so on this we are going to install the AWS CLI. We'll go to this website, download the CLI for CLI software. Once it is installed, then we can go to our command prompt. From the command prompt, we can run any AWS CLI commands. And also at the same time, what we need to do is we need to create an EC2 instance. So we will be creating an EC2 instance here, and once we create the EC2 instance, we can create it either a Linux instance, or we can also create a Windows instance. For this example, we are going to create a Linux instance. And then from the CLI, we are going to run few commands, and I'm going to show you those commands and connect to our CLI instance. So let's get started. So first of all, what we need to do is, what are we going to do? I'm going to create an instance, and then I'm going to create a user later on. So let's create that instance. So let's create this instance here. It's just a simple Linux instance, and with the normal settings. You can also, if you want, you can make it a web server if you like, and for that we can run the Bootstrap script. So Bootstrap is right here. This is the script that we used in our previous video. So while creating this EC2 instance, what we can do is on this configure in instance page, so just quickly go through this. We don't need this. Sudo su yum update. This will update the VM. This will install the service, HTTP web service. This will start the service. Last command will make sure that the service stays on even if this machine reboots. Other than that, we don't need anything else. In the storage, we don't need anything in the storage. Here we are going to call this. So this server is for Linux server CLI, to run the CLI command, and next, and here the security group is especially for this VM, and here I'm just going to open one more port, and that is HTTP port, and this is being accessed from everywhere. you know, we can access it from the bashin. If we are planning to access it from the bashin, then we need to change this to here the bashin server address. So we can do that later on. For now, we're just going to leave it as is and launch the instance. And here the key I'm going to use is the same key that I have, 360 cloud key for this, and enter. So what is the goal of this exercise? The goal of this exercise is to basically install and manage this ESXi, manage this EC2 instance through CLI. So from here, now let's go to IAM and create a new user. So I'm going to create a new user for specially programmatic access. And so once we are here, we can go to users and add user, and we are going to call this CLI admin, and here we are going to provide him programmatic access. For that we will be getting access key and the secret key. We don't need console access for this user. Let's keep it just for CLI, and I'm going to just copy this name and put it in our text file. So this is one, and next the permissions, the type of permissions this will have is the admin access. So I'm going to just add him to that group, or you can create a new group and provide this administrator access to this user. So for now we are going to do this next, and this will be tag IT department. So tag will be IT department, and next review. So when you are reviewing this, just make sure whatever access you need, and once you create this user, at this point you need to download this file, and this file will have the access key, will have this key and that and the access key. This is the only time you are going to see this for this user. So what we can do is we can copy this in our text file, because we are going to need these two. We are going to need these. We are going to need this, and also we can download the CSV file that has the complete credentials and all of the same settings, the username, password, and the access key and the secret key. So once this is all done, so CLI admin user is created. Now the second thing what we need to do is we will need to work with the roles as well. Role is basically, IAM roles are a secure way to grant access entities that you trust. An example of entities include the following: IAM user in another account, application core. So most of the time roles are used in between different AWS services. So if EC2 instance is trying to connect to S3, or S3 is trying to connect to Lambda service, we can use different type of roles. So we are going to come back to role later on, but for now let's connect to our EC2 instance. So in here I'm just going to go back to our EC2 instance. So how many things we did? We created a user, we also created an instance. Now I'm going to make sure if the instance is ready. Instance is ready, and here we are going to name this. We are going to name this Linux server CLI01. So this is our instance name. This is Linux server, and here we can see all of the specs of this server. Now, in order to work with this, what we need to do is I need to open a command prompt. Once you open a command prompt, you need to try and see that if AWS works for us. So in my case, I have already installed in this machine. That's why if I say AWS, it will run this command and it will show me like this. But if in a server, if you don't have AWS CLI installed, so for example, if I go to this server and I try to run this, so here it will give you error message. So in order to fix that, on the client machine, what we need to do is we need to download AWS CLI. So here you can just type AWS CLI, and this is where you need to go to, and here it gives you get started, and all you need to do, first of all, Windows downloader. Here it gives you some more instructions as well. So usage, once you install AWS tool, then you can run these simple commands to see that if it works. And here, in order to get help of all the commands, you can type AWS help. You can type, let's say, if you want to see the help of auto scaling, you can say AWS auto scaling and help. It will give you all of the commands. And here, how to access the S3 bucket, you can type AWS S3 ls. So commands are all here. The main thing is that you need to know how to configure the CLI on your machine. So on your computer, all you need to do is download this Windows version. So here, let's download this. So it is being downloaded at the moment, and all you need to do is to open it. Once it is downloaded, it will run a small setup. So it will be like this here, and here for me in my machine, it will just if I just click on change, and here just for the case of showing all of you that how this will run, I'm just clicking change and I'm installing this. So once it is all installed, all you need to do is to go back to the command prompt and see if it is working. So most probably once you install the AWS CLI setup, once you run the setup and you installed it, you should close the command prompt and reopen it. So I'm going to just close this and reopen the command prompt. And once you reopen the command prompt, the way you can find out that if it is working, what you need to do is just type AWS, and it should give you these lines. If it is not giving you these lines, then it means that maybe the CLI, AWS CLI is not installed properly. You can go back to the link and reinstall this. So once you do this, then you first of all, you need to check the version of your CLI. Since we have downloaded the latest one, this is the latest version, and here is the latest version, Python. This is 3.7.7, CLI version 2.0. This is the latest one. If you want to confirm, you can go back to CLI website, which is the command line interface. This is the website here. You can go back to configuration, but since we have downloaded, this is mainly the latest version at the moment. But you can also check that out from user guide. And from the user guide, it will take you to installing. Here you can go, and the latest version is 2.0.42, and the Python version is 3.7.4. This is version 1, but the latest one is 3.7.7, which we have installed, 3.7.7. Okay, so that is done. Now the second thing what we need to do is now we need to log in with the users. So remember CLI admin user that we created, so log in here in this, and then we're going to connect to our EC2 instance. So here, so in order to connect to the user, there are two ways. One way is by using the access key and secret key. The other way is by using the role. Later on, we are going to use the roles to connect to this. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm still here. First of all, I need to log in. So the first command that you need to do, AWS configure. AWS configure will ask you for the access key and the secret key, and the access key and secret key we got it from this is the Excel sheet that we had. So for the CLI admin, and I'm going to copy this access key. I'm going to copy this access key from here. Remember to download this access key, or you can copy that in the notepad. You can also copy that in the notepad. So make sure that you have the access key and the secret key. Here the region, we need to make sure which region you are trying to connect to. So which availability zone, actually this is the name of the availability zone. Here it's saying region. Let's go back to our EC2 instance. Our EC2 instance is sitting in US-East 1B. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to US. It's already written here for me on the side. I could have just press enter because it's already written here, but I wrote it here just to show you that this is how we can find out the region in your case. In your case, it might be different where you have the EC2 instance. So once you get the availability zone name, press enter. The output format is, should it be a JSON, should it be YAML? I'll just keep it as default, and now I am logged in. So if there is any issue with the access key, secret key, it will give an error message. So now what should we do? So now that I am logged into the, this is like like you're logged into the management console. This is exactly the same thing when the first time you come here and you log in. So you're logged into the management console here and in this region. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to connect to this instance. So in order to connect to the instance, you will connect here. So first of all, you need the public IP address, but the command that we're going to need in order to connect is right here. So you can click on connect, select this instance, click on connect, and here are two ways to do this. One way is to just run first this command with this key. So you need to know where your key is. It should be exactly in the same folder, and then you can run this command. This is the DNS name of the EC2 instance, or you can run this one command and that will connect you using this key to this EC2 instance. So now before running this command, before I can run this command, what I need to make sure that if I have the key, this key is sitting in the folder where I'm running the command from. So here I'm sitting in this folder, C users A header. So this is the folder where at the moment the prompt is, and where is my file? So this file, the key file, is in the, so let's see where is the file. The file is sitting in the downloads folder. So it's not in this folder. Basically I am in that folder. First of all, I'll change that to download folder where my file is, or I can copy this file to this folder. It's one and the same thing, but in this case I'm going to go to the download folder, cd change where my file is, then I will run the ssh command. So ssh command, I will just copy this as is. So I will copy this command, and here so first of all, let me show you if I run this command, then what happens. So if I run this command here, which is saying connect to this EC2 instance with this guest user to this EC2 instance using this key. So if I try to connect this, it will give me an error message saying that permission is denied, no such file. So it's saying this file is not available, and we know that it's not available here. So I am going to connect to CD downloads, and now I'm going to run the same command. So in this case it should connect, so it is connected because the key file is right here. So now this is, we are connected to the instance. So we are connected to the EC2 instance. Now what do I need to do in order to connect to, what do I need to do in order to see that if I'm connected to the right instance? So what I can do, remember that in that instance we installed the web services. So what we can do is we can check if the web services is working fine. So here we can say services httpd and status. So if I can see the status, it has the EC2, it has the web services working on this instance. Now, so this is how we can connect. So we have successfully connected through Aws CLI, and all of the CLI command will run fine on this, and you can run, let's say, Aws help. So it will give you all the help of all the related commands here. So we can press Q in order to get out of the help. Now the one thing that I wanted to show you that in order to, so I'm connected to the instance, if I need to disconnect from the instance, all I need to type is exit. So now I am out of the instance, and I can connect to any other instance.